Good day, everyone. Welcome to our discussion on financial literacy, the key to unblocking a secure financial future. In this presentation, we will delve into the essential knowledge of budgeting, saving, and investing that empowers individuals to make informed decisions about their personal finances. Let's explore the impact of financial literacy on financial well-being and discover practical strategies to enhance our financial knowledge. Join us as we navigate the world of financial literacy and pave the way towards financial empowerment. What is financial literacy? Financial literacy is the knowledge of budgeting, saving, and investing, enabling individuals to make informed decisions about their personal finances. The sentence explains that financial literacy encompasses understanding budgeting, saving, and investing. This knowledge empowers individuals to make well-informed decisions regarding their personal finances. In essence, being financially literate means having the skills to manage money wisely through budgeting, saving for the future, and making investment choices that align with one's financial goals. The National Endowment for Financial Education defines financial literacy as the ability to read, analyze, manage, and communicate about the personal financial conditions that affect material well-being. The National Endowment for Financial Education defines financial literacy as the capacity to comprehend, assess, handle, and discuss personal financial circumstances that impact one's material well-being. This means having the knowledge and skills to read and understand financial information, analyze financial situations, make informed financial decisions, and effectively communicate about financial matters that affect one's overall financial health and quality of life. Financial literacy is crucial for individuals to make sound financial choices, plan for the future, and achieve financial stability and security.
The difference between stocks and bonds is that the stock has a small share in a company, and the bonds is the one that lends investment using government money. Another difference between stock and bonds is how they earn money. The stock increase investment that will come into them, while the bonds only has a fixed interest while they are being paid. Fixed rate versus adjustable rate. Fixed rate is a rate of interest that does not change throughout the life of the loan. Typically makes it easier for homeowners to budget, provides protection from sudden change in mortgage rates, difficult to qualify if interest rates are high. Adjustable rates set below the market rate on a comparable fixed rate loan that rises over time, typically more complicated than a fixed rate mortgage, typically much cheaper than a fixed rate mortgage, at least in the first 3 to 7 years. Monthly payment can change frequently, making
financial education should be the best tool to effectively come up with better financial outcomes. Previous studies have shown that lower levels of financial literacy is associated with lower rates for planning for retirement, lower rates of asset accumulation using higher cost financial services, lower participation in the stock market, and higher levels of debt. This is my explanation. Certainly, financial education plays a crucial role in helping individuals make informed decisions about their finances. Studies have consistently shown that individuals with higher levels of financial literacy then plan better for retirement, accumulate more assets, utilize lower-cost financial services, participate more in the stock market, and how lower levels of debt compared to those with lower levels of financial literacy. Essentially, being knowledgeable about financial matters lead to a better financial outcome. This is next. It is important to create a financial plan as it provides you with a roadmap to manage your finances will help you to achieve your financial goals. In the long term, it helps you prioritize your expenses and save for the future to have financial stability. This is my explanation. Creating a financial plan is like plotting a course for your money. It helps you set goals, prioritize spending, and save for the future, ultimately leading to greater financial stability and achieving your long-term objectives.
Benefits of financial literacy. One's level of financial literacy affects one's quality of life significantly. It determines one's ability to provide basic needs, attitude towards money and investment, as well as one's contribution to the community. So, in the benefits of financial literacy, greater financial literacy is needed and there should be spending habits and more opportunity for economic growth and stability within communities.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic, developing personal financial literacy. Frugal. Frugal people seek financial security by living below their means and saving money. They rarely buy luxurious items, they save money instead. They save money because they believe that money will offer protection from unprecedented events and expenses. So frugal, yung mga tao daw is hindi palagi or mas pinagtutuunan nila ng pansin yung pag-iipon ng pera dahil naniniwala sila magagamit nila yung pera bilang proteksyon. Paano nasabing proteksyon? Kasi hindi natin alam kung hanggang kailan lang ang buhay or hindi natin alam kung kailan magkakaroon ng aksidente. For example, yung isang tao is nagkaroon ng sakit. So magagamit niya yung perang inipon niya para may pagpagamot yung sarili niya at hindi niya na kailangan na umasa sa ibang tao or umasa sa pamilya niya. The next one is pleasure. Pleasure seekers use money to bring pleasure to themselves and to others. They are more likely to spend than to save. They often live beyond their means and spend more than they earn. If they are not careful and do not change, they may fall into deep debt. So pleasure. Ito naman yung mga tao na ito yung kabaliktaran ng frugal. Sa pleasure, mas pinagtutuunan nila ng pansin yung pagbili ng mga bagay na mamahalin or mga bagay na hindi naman nila kinakailangan. Ito yung they choose their wants kaysa dun sa needs nila. Na kapag hindi ito napigilan o hindi nila pinigilan yung sarili nila, maaari silang mabaon sa utang. The next one is status. Some people use money to express their social status. They like to purchase and show off their branded items. So sa status naman, ito yung mga tao na pinapakita or dito nila ipinapakita na mayaman sila, na may pera sila. Na kada may bibilhin sila na mga bagay na mamahalin is kailangan nila or gusto nila na nakikita ng ibang tao para mapagtanto or malaman ng mga nakakita na yon na hindi sila ordinaryo or mas mataas sila or mas mayaman kaysa sa lahat. The next one is indifference. Some people place very little importance on having money and would rather grow their own food and craft their own goods. It is having too much money makes them nervous and uncomfortable. Sa indifference naman, parang dito, hindi tayo masyadong familiar. Kasi yung mga indifference, ito yung mga tao na mas gugustuhin nila na sakto lang yung pera nila kaysa sa marami silang pera. Kasi parang uncomfortable sa kanila na may hawak silang pera or uncomfortable sila or kinakabahan sila kapag alam nila na may pera sila. The next one is powerful. Powerful people use money to express power or control over others. Powerful. is alam naman natin na kapag may pera or alam natin na kapag mayaman yung isang tao is powerful siya sa lugar or sa barangay na kinabibilangan niya. For example na lang is yung mga politician. So ginagamit nila yung pera nila to gain votes or to manipulate others. So hindi lang naman sa negative side ito makikita. Maaari din natin ito may apply into positive side. Kasi yung ibang mga powerful or yung mga tao na may pera is ginagamit nila yung power nila to help other people. The next one is self-worth. People who spend money for self-worth value how much they accumulate and tend to judge others based on the amount of money they have. So self-worth. May mga tao na ang tingin sa iba na walang pera is pinakamababang uri ng tao sa mundo. Parang yung pera ginagamit nila para mantukoy or mang-describe ng isang tao. Na kapag nakita nila na yung isang tao na yon ay mga branded ng suot or yung tao na yon is nakikita nila through social media na bili dito, bili doon. So parang doon makikita nila yung self-worth na parang ay mayaman yun. So doon tayo. So kapag naman nakakita sila ng mga tao na hindi ganon kaporma or hindi ganon kayaman tingnan, so doon malalaman na doon sila bumabase na hindi yun dapat pagkatiwalaan o hindi yun dapat pakisamahan.
Spending patterns. Are you prudent or have you been accused of spending money lavishly? Or are you somewhere in between? Individuals have different spending patterns. Before one can come up with financial improvement plans, one needs to analyze his or her spending habits. Spending pattern, it refers to the way in which individuals allocate their money over time. These patterns can vary based on factors such as income, lifestyle, priorities, and financial goals. The first example is needs. It includes expenses that are necessary for daily living such as housing, utilities, groceries, transportation, and healthcare. The second one is wants. Wants are non-essential expenses that individuals choose to spend money on for enjoyment or comfort. This category may include dining out, entertainment, travel, or shopping for non-essential items and habits. So, the second one is setting financial goals. Setting financial goals is the first step to managing one's financial life. Goals may be short, medium, and long-term. Short-term goals can be measured in weeks and can provide instant gratification and feedback. I will ride on the LRT instead of taxi, and I will bring lunch every day are example of short-term goals. Medium-term goals should be accomplished within 1 to 6 months. So, setting financial goals it is essential part of financial planning, and it involves identifying specific objectives that individuals or households aim to achieve with their money. Financial goals provide direction, motivation, and a roadmap for managing finance effectively. So, the first one example is short-term goal. So, a short-term financial goal is a typically spans for 1 year or less. An example of short-term goal could be building an emergency fund equivalent for 3 months worth of living expenses. This goals helps provide financial security in case of unexpected event like job loss or medical emergencies. The second one is medium-term goal. A medium-term goal financial usually range from 1 to 5 years. An example of a medium-term goal could be saving for a down payment or a home. This goal requires consistent saving and budgeting to accumulate the necessary funds for a down payment within the specific time frame. The third one is long-term goal. Long-term financial goals extend beyond 5 years and often involve substantial financial commitments. An example of long-term goal could be living for retirement. And the last one is a regular review and adjustment. Financial goals should be regularly reviewed and adjusted as circumstances change. Life events, economic condition, and personal priorities may impact financial goals, requiring adjust to the plan. By setting clear, achievable financial goals, individuals can take control of their finance, make informed decisions, and work towards building a secure financial future.
Here's some example of needs versus wants. First is needs. Food, shelter, and clothes are some of the basic needs to survive. We prioritize these three every day. Next is health care. It is an improvement of health through prevention of diagnosis, injury, illness, and other physical or mental condition. Last is basic transportation. Next is wants. Entertainment, dining out, vacation, luxury items, hobbies, and leisure activities. We can do or have what we want, but still, we prioritize what we needed in life.
Developing a spending plan. Number 1, record. Keep a record of what you spend. Ang sinasabi naman dito is kailangan mo daw ilista yung mga bagay na nagastos mo. Number 2, review. Analyze the information and decide what you do. Dito naman is need mo daw i-analyze yung mga information or mag-decide ka daw kung ano yung nararapat. For example, is bumili ka ng mga needs mo, kailangan mo daw suriin kung essential ba para sa'yo yung mga binili mo at kailangan mo mag-decide ng tama kung ito ay nararapat mo ba talagang bilhin. Number 3, take action. Do something about what you have written down. Dito naman, ang sabi is need mo magbigay ng aksyon sa lahat ng bagay na nabili mo or isulat mo yung mga bagay na bibilhin mo na magagamit mo sa pang-araw-araw. For example, is bibili ka sa grocery. Need mong ilista yung mga magagamit mo lang to our daily life. Importance of savings. Number 1, emergency bluster. You should save money to avoid going to debt just to pay emergency situation like unexpected medical expenses and damages caused by calamities or accidents. So, ang sinasabi dito is importante na mag-save ka ng pera or mag-ipon ka para maiwasan yung mga bagay na uutang ka. For example is may emergency man na mangyayari na need talagang magbigay ng malaking pera or maglabas ng malaking pera is may makukuha ka or may maigagastos ka kasi nga nag-save ka ng pera or nag-ipon ka para sa emergency or sa mga essential mo. Number 2, retirement. You will need savings, investments to take the place of income you will no longer receive when you retire. So, ang sinasabi naman dito is ang usapan na retirement ay need mo talagang mag-invest ng pera or mag-ipon para once na nakapag-retired ka na sa work mo is may makukuha ka pa din na income for your essential or emergency. For example is once na nakapag-retired ka na or ako sa work ko, syempre hindi na ako makakatanggap ng pera or yung sinasahod ko nung hindi pa ako nag-retired. Pero habang nung nagtatrabaho pa ako at hindi pa nakakapag-retired, yung sweldo ko na nakukuha ko ay at yung savings ko ay naiipon ko. Kapag dumating yung part na nakapag-retired na ako, may pera akong magagamit to my daily life at nakapag-invest ako. Number 4, stability of Social Security. Pension from Social Security should only serve as supplementary and not the primary source of income after retirement. So, ang pension daw talaga is
pangunahing pangangailangan ng mga matatanda at makakatulong din ito pangdagdag. So like na lang, tulad na lang sa mga essential nila, lalo na sa mga matatandang nag-retired na sa mga trabaho nila at Number 4, stability of Social Security. Pension from Social Security should only serve as supplementary and not the primary source of income after retirement. So, ang sinasabi dito is, ang pension talaga is pangunahing pangangailangan ng matatanda at makakatulong din pandagdag yon like sa mga essential nila. Lalo na sa mga matatandang nag-retired na sa mga trabaho nila at malaking tulong talaga para sa kanila ang pensyon. At ang pensyon ay ang primary source of income nila talaga. Dahil doon lang sila kukuha or ipapangdagdag sa mga needs nila sa mga pang-araw-araw na buhay at magagamit talaga nila. Number 5. A little goes a long way, small, consistent savings go a long way. So, ang sabi dito or sinasabi dito, once na malaki ang savings mo at nagtitipid ka ay malaking tulong yon. At pagdating sa mga essential mo ay mabibili mo kasi nga nagtipid ka or natipid mo yung savings mo.